Thicosaurus Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thicosaurus Podcast. This is episode 107. And I am your host, Melissa, and we have the amazing
Molly.
Michelle.
Anna.
Yay!
Yay.
Woot woot. So I was listening to the Hmong Women's podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but I listen to them here and there. And they were talking about family estrangement.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, we kind of talked about that like a little bit, but not like directly on the topic. Because I was listening to that episode and I was like, I think this is something that we can probably talk about too and add on to that too. Because, in the Hmong community, community and family is like everything in the Hmong community. And so a lot of the times that creates a lot of toxicity in our families and our Hmong communities and things like that. And there's a lot of like contradictory stuff that happens. And so, that was something that kind of happened. I know happened to like me and Michelle, and I know I'm pretty sure like Anna too, I'm pretty sure Molly too, everybody. If you don't know, or if you haven't felt it before, maybe you probably have, but you just didn't know like what it was called or things like that, and so I wanted to kind of dive into that today a little bit because, again, I know we talked about something similar. I know we talked about like boundaries in one episode, and then we talked about friend relationships and like those ending kind of thing, and and I wanted to talk about family estrangement today. So. Let's open up to the floor for everybody. I know everybody's personal journeys are different. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it if you're not comfortable with it. But personally, for me, it was with a close family member that I had grew up with that was like a role model, that was somebody that I loved very, very dearly.
And they were older than you.
Yeah, and they were older than me. I was part of her circle. She was part of my circle. That we were just very close. We grew up together. Like sisters kind of thing. And so
I think it's more like mother and daughter from outside in.
Oh yeah, from outside in.
See.
Yeah. And so even like to this day, we have like other family members like on different sides of the family where they'll be like, oh, you look like so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I
get that a lot.
Yeah, I get it a lot. I'm kind of like her twin a little bit, And so it's hard when you go from somebody that's you loved and that you cared for to no longer speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts when you had such a close relationship and then it kind of just not even fizzles out. It was a cut and that was it.
Crash and burn.
Yeah. Kind of thing. And so this was during, let's see here. When was it? I'm trying to remember.
What year?
No, not what year.
Or the time of the year?
Revert back to like where it first began, or are you saying like where it actually was cut?
I think
That's
just like the when the estrangement part happened. Like we got into it was without like going into like a lot of detail because I know family, you're listening to this and I'm not trying to add to the fire. I'm just telling my side of the story or what I can about the story, when I'm more comfortable talking about the story and what had happened. But it's just a lot of something tragic had happened. A family member had passed. And, you know, there's a lot of feelings that was happening on my side and on that person's side. And, you know, when a core member of your family who's holding everything together or holds the whole family together, and when that core member dies, everybody kind of goes frantic a little bit, you know? And so that's basically kind of what happened, you know? There was a lot of feelings and a lot of words were said. And do I regret the words I said? I think the way that it came out. But at the same time, it needed to be said.
Yes, it needed to be said.
Yeah. You know, it got to the point to where this was during my cocoon era, where I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be and what my self-worth was. And then this conversation that we've had with this person made it seem like I was a different person than what I know that I am, kind of thing, if that makes sense. They were throwing what they thought who I was as a person to me, and then I'm like, no, that's not who I am, kind of thing. And so it was a lot of realization for me of my self-worth at the time. And so I got really, really fed up, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm tired of people telling me who I am when I know who I am. Does that make sense?
It does, but I'm now that you're saying that, I wonder, because you said like you do regret how it came out, but not what was said. So do you? Because now I wonder if you also said that to her because, what am I trying to say? Like you were kind of basically standing up for yourself, and she just happened to be in the line of fire, kind of.
Yes, she was the person poking me.
Yeah.
To the point to where I'm like, you know what? I'm putting my foot down now.
Yeah.
You know, like, I love you and I care for you, but you know what? You're putting this persona on me that it's not even me, and you should know that that's not me at this point in our lives. You know, and so it got to that point where I had to put my foot down and be like, you know what? No. I don't like the way you're talking to me, because you're talking to me as if I am 8, and I am not 8 anymore. I am almost a 30-year-old woman at that time. You know, so I'm like, don't talk to me like I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, kind of thing. And so that was when I finally put my foot down, and I was just like, that's it. I don't like what you're saying about me. I don't like what you're saying about my family, you know, kind of thing. And so that's when I put my foot down. And then that caused even more
uproar.
Yeah, uproar, because it got everybody else involved. Which in reality, it should have just, as adults, mature adults, it should have just been between me and that person.
I'm just saying, because you're retelling the story. Sorry for interrupting. But
No,
I'm just
fine.
thinking now, like from the outside in, would the thought ever occur to you to message that person
No.
individually too?
Like now or
Or like
then?
back then during the whole
Well,
thing.
I guess just now thinking about it, like I wonder.
I think like now when I think about it, like I'm kind of like okay, so like when I think about it now from back then, or myself back then, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have, you know, the adult way or whatever, I should have messaged her aside and then like talked about it. But I think at that point, I already knew what kind of person she is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why it made me say that I should have said it differently, but I don't regret it because you needed to hear it that way.
To kind of shake you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people have been so lenient to you
And
your entire
coddling
life.
you.
Yes. To the point where I'm not doing that to you because I love you and you're being stupid right now. Kind of thing. And sometimes you need people in your life like that who tells you who's real with you.
Tells you how it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you see a duck, you call it a duck.
Yeah.
You know?
And so that's how me and my family, my immediate family, saw it that way. But everybody else in the family does not see it that way.
They saw it. Didn't they see it as disrespect?
Yes.
That's the thing about.
Are you
Hmong
are you
people.
talking about like the other older people, or are you talking about the ones our age?
No, the other older people.
Oh, okay.
So like, I would say people our age saw it our way, and then the older people saw it her, or I guess not really her way, but like just a different disrespectful the typical Hmong community
All
way.
they saw was disrespect.
Yes.
They didn't hear anything.
Yes.
They just saw someone that originally the roles were respect should have come from you.
Yes.
But then they forgot that you're not a little girl anymore.
Yes.
And that you're an adult. It's all adults.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's what caused, I guess, like the split between, I guess, my family and the rest of the family, kind of thing. And so therefore, that's what started like the family estrangement, at least for me, on it. So because of that, me and that person, we don't talk anymore, even though we come together for like family functions and stuff. We don't talk. We don't really look at each other anymore.
It's like it's like what the young kids say, you've gone no contact.
Yes. You know, and I wasn't the one who forced the no contact. It was more of that person. That person decided to do no contact, removed me from everything. And so I'm just kind of like, okay, so what's the point of talking about it? You know, like afterwards, like, cause sometimes after an argument, you guys cool down and then you kind of review to see if you were crazy. I know sometimes I do that, like just to make sure that like I got all the facts and I just wasn't caught up in my emotions.
You know, your emotions were valid.
Yeah. And so, but sometimes I'll do that just to make sure that like, oh, I didn't read that right, kind of thing. And so I would do that. And so when I did that, I was just kind of like, you know what? No. I'm right,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And so I didn't. By that point, I still could have like, I don't know, like reached out or messaged to her and been like, hey, let's talk about this, like one-on-one or something like that. Like we didn't even get to have a chance to do that. She kind of just cut off all contacts from there.
She just like cut off contact, like not contact you, or said don't talk to me. That's what I'm.
No,
No,
she's not the type of person to say don't talk to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
She's
no.
very passive aggressive.
Yes.
So we knew that she wanted to go no contact when she unfriended us on everything, on social media
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and it's not even like unfriend. It's like unfriend and block.
Yeah. She blocked us.
Yeah.
So I'm chiming in, sorry listeners, because
Yeah.
she and I have the same, we're talking about the same person.
Yeah.
We both
They
have the
were
same.
both
The
entwined.
estrangements happened at the same time.
Yes.
But that didn't
Yes.
help that you guys had already a feud before the other one.
It's been so long, I don't even remember
What it was about?
what it was, what the feud or what happened even before.
That was when she came out and revealed that
There
thing,
was-
and then she went to go recover up north.
I thought so.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you guys had a
See,
little.
that's
That was actually
Yeah.
the beginning.
and
I
that
think
was when
that
you guys
the-
were just about to, I guess,
I think that's when it slowly
mend.
crept up.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
were about to mend it up, and then that
happened. Okay,
This
okay.
was the
and I think
cut.
that was probably what triggered her stuff. Like I said,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
But yeah, like I said, there was just a lot of feelings and there was just a lot of that was going on at the time. And so again, that's why I was like, I didn't really take it to heart until things were said. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of being nice to you now. Kind of thing. And so that caused the estrangement for us. And so, again, now it's just kind of weird when we're kind of in the same, I guess, same space as each other, but not really, because I'm kind of like, it got to the point to where, like, again, all the other family members got involved, and they were like, you need to go apologize. That was disrespectful. You need to go apologize.
Yeah, nope.
And I'm like, no.
And these were the older family members that, and it wasn't like the other family members that were under age or younger, right? It was the older
Yes,
ones.
it was the older ones.
Basically, that person's generation
Yes.
of family members. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they were the ones who were like, you need to go apologize. And I'm like, no, I said what I said.
It's funny how you, excuse me, how they approached you and told you to say that when none of them said anything to me.
Yeah, see, exactly.
I don't know if it's because they're too scared to say anything to me, or if it's just the fact that I'm married, and therefore I was considered adult.
No,
You know?
here's the disrespectful thing that Hmong people think, majority. Okay, so not all. Is that when you get married off, you're no longer part of the family, so you're not even relevant.
Oh, well.
I get told that a lot. So
All I know is that I know the uncles were encouraging you to have a one-on-one. That's all I
Yeah.
remember.
how about they talk to that person?
I
But
think
we'll never
even
know.
if they try to, they already know how she is.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
would be like no point.
Didn't I thought another family member stood up for you guys, right? That was the older one, or no? Nobody did.
The only one I know is mom, because she said
Oh, yeah.
there was no, if there was a reason of them saying that, then there's, or she said something like she
Yeah.
must have said something to in order for my kids to say something like that, because she knows how we are.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is your dad trained you guys to be able to stand up.
That's what I
So
said.
in reality, you guys need to be thankful to your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my dad was part of the people who are
Yeah, I
like,
know.
yeah, that's disrespectful. You need to go apologize to her.
But I
And
think
I'm
my
like,
mom,
no.
yeah, my mom, she just been like, you know,
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's just what family estrangement that kind of happened to us. And, you know, it's hurtful that it had to end like that, you know, and there's no point, or there's going to be no solution to this unless that other person kind of reflects on themselves a little bit more and reach out. Because at this point, it's kind of like, I don't know. I
Or
don't
kind
know
of
what you want from
like
me.
have an ego death and like be humble and maybe like
Yes.
apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people they haven't had an ego death yet, so that's why they haven't evolved. You know, they're still too
Right.
into themselves, or not necessarily into themselves. It's just kind of like there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So they need to have an ego death.
Yeah.
Ego, pride, whatever you want to call it. It's just, it's ridiculous because like you can just see who, how do I put it? Who the better person is, I guess you could say. But I don't know.
Who has basically reflected on themselves already, kind of
That's okay.
evolved.
Yeah. And just going back to like the Hmong community is kind of like that a lot. Like a lot of the generations is kind of very, she's your elder. Go apologize to her.
They're
Go-
always right.
Yeah,
And stuff like that.
you know, you're the younger one. You should follow what the elders say. And it's just kind of like, no, it don't work like that anymore.
Or more like it's if you would really hear both sides
Yeah,
and or at least give both sides to air out their grievances.
yeah,
And then have a third party that is actually going to give an unbiased feedback, like, hey, that wasn't right.
yeah,
Someone that's willing to tell the elder, like, hey, you shouldn't do that to the kids.
yeah,
Yes.
But that I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. That's why it's up to us
right.
to
To
change
change
it.
it.
Right. And it's never like, oh, you're the older one. Why are you picking on the younger one?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that. It's always, why are you not following the older ones? No, it's never, it's the other way where, you know, why are you
You
picking
should
on
just
the younger
blindly
ones?
follow.
Yeah.
That's like mom, just like, so if they tell you to jump over the bridge with them, would you jump over the bridge with them?
Yeah,
kinda thing.
exactly.
My mom always brings that reference out, and I'm just like, "Jeez, mom, you really like the blind deer."
She brings that up because people are dumb.
Because
yeah,
yes, people are dumb. Like Hmong people just our race needs to learn how to think for themselves because we are always told to blindly follow our elders when our elders are blindly following their elders, and a lot of the times it's just not right. It's not the right path that they're following, and they probably know that, but then it's so ingrained in them to like just do what you were told or whatever
Yeah.
to kind of keep the peace.
Yeah. Sweep it under the rug.
Yes, sweep
Kinda
it under the
thing.
rug, keep the peace and stuff like that because we as a whole as Hmong people, we just don't have critical thinking.
I think it is a little bit of that, but it's mostly of not being afraid to stand up.
Right.
Because it's like your reputation isn't really that important to ruin your family. You know? It's like basically someone had done something that they shouldn't have done to a family member of yours, and it doesn't matter how prestigious that other person is. Standing up for what's right should always be the thing to do, regardless of how old they are or what kind of title or honor that they have served the community.
I hate that shit because it's kind of like when you die,
You die.
nobody's going to remember you.
Like,
I mean, there'll be an expensive funeral for the family. R.I.P. That's sad.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I'm sorry because like this whole upholding your
Legacy and all that.
it's kind of like your legacy is your children, you know, because it's kind of like not in the way to where like they're your carbon copies, but they should
resemble you somehow in a different way.
It's like a part of it is your children, but I would say that your legacy should be your character. How you
How they will remember
carried
remember you
yourself,
by.
yes. How'd you carry yourself and how you treated other people, because that's what people will remember about you, and that's
Yeah.
technically your legacy.
yeah.
So if you were remembered as someone that was, you know, a douchebag and that was greedy and cut people off, you're always going to be remembered remembered in that way forever.
Yeah,
after
like
you
no
die.
matter what community, quote unquote, you go to, or like if you try to, like if you know you did wrong, and you try to move to like Minnesota, they're gonna know you too.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
that way, or if you're gonna move over to like Montana or something, you know, like it's gonna follow you.
Especially if you're like tied to a very known person in the Hmong community. Yeah, that's gonna go back.
Well,
go around
I feel like the
quick.
Hmong community has grown, but also at the same time, it's still pretty small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To where if it was something that was wrong, something's going to be spread around because you know we love to gossip.
yeah.
Yeah, humans love to gossip, but so
Back to your estrangement thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty sad to hear, but do you feel
Yeah.
a lot better though that something was done, like cut off?
Yeah, I think like at the same time I'm kind of glad that that person took the initiative to go ahead and cut it off before I did, because during that time for me, I probably would have teetered back and been like, "Hey, let's talk about this." kind of thing, and then probably try to be like, "Oh, yeah, I see it from your side," and then like forget about me, if that makes sense, and what I felt. Because that was when I was still kind of like teeter-tottering.
yeah.
So-
I was going to say you better than me, but it's more like you haven't quite matured yet at that point, or like figured out who
Yeah.
you were or wanted to be. Because from my standpoint, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like you. I had it, and I hated how she was trying to make us out to be the bad guy when really there was no sense in doing that. So it pissed me off. So again, like you, I was glad that she
Yeah.
took the initiative and cut us off, because I would not have taken the time or the energy to go do all that.
Yeah. No.
I would have just left it the way it is.
Yeah.
Cut her off like an older sibling does. That's it. No time.
Yeah, that's it. No time.
So
or whatever.
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for your question of ever thinking of like wanting to like talk and like make up and stuff, nope, it's never crossed my mind.
Let's say years pass and y'all got gray hair. Y'all older. And or not gray hair, because I think that person, I don't know how long they live, but you're a lot older, maybe like another, I want to say a good 10 years from now. And you hear a knock on the door and it's her, and she just for some reason is on death's door, and like, because I feel like that might be her situation.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just want to tell you that I was wrong. And
Okay.
Okay.
And you guys
And
said
at
I
this-
was brutal.
you're only
But-
brutal in the beginning, so
Well, then
that
again,
to test them.
like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't have the same relationship
no,
with
you
them
didn't.
as these
yeah.
two did. So that's why I said I have no.
But I'm
say.
trying to imagine like the knock on the door.
Um,
She says, I just want to apologize for everything that I've done, and it was wrong for me. I shouldn't have done that, and I hope that you know that I do feel horrible about it, and I'm sorry. But they're not asking for you for forgiveness. They just say that. Like, how would you feel about that?
I'll be like Liz. I'll be like, okay, good for you,
Ouch!
because at that point, if it is because she's dying or whatever, then it's just her making herself feel better about the whole situation. If it took that long and for you to say something, then it's kind of like, why did you even bother?
Try to make amends. Try to get into heaven. No.
Trying
I mean,
to
go
put-
ahead.
put
But
Liz is like,
Good card.
we going to hell. I'll see you there, but you're going first because you're older.
yeah, so I'm like, okay.
You know, it's like, it's great that you came to your senses, but the how you got there is not legit. So it's kind of like I said, okay, good for you. You know, because it didn't hurt me any that we've been estranged for so long. Because I moved on.
Yeah.
Oh, do you feel the same too, Liz?
Yeah, it's kind of like, again, it gets to the point to where I'm a person too. You hurted my feelings too. My feelings matter too. You know? And it's just kind of like, it's very selfish of you to only think about you.
You
You
It's
know,
like
when
we lost somebody too.
Yeah, you know, and so
Yeah.
that's why when we were fighting, that's why I was like, you know, oh, she's grieving, she's just taking out, she's just taking out on me because she's grieving, yada yada yada, and then I'm like, that's fine. But until she started bringing other people in my
Into it.
family, I'm just kind of like, okay, you know what? No, that's not cool anymore. You know, that's when I said, I regret what I said, but I don't regret how I said it. Or is that what I said?
No, you
no,
said
no,
you
I
regret
said-
how you said it,
Yeah,
but
there
not
you go.
what you said.
Yeah, there we go. Something like that, you know?
Yes.
You know, so at this point, I'm just kind of like, I am an adult now. I know I had to fight my own demons and battles to get to be the person that I am. So I'm not going to baby you because you are a whole ass
Adult.
person older than me.
Yeah. Like 20 years.
I had to
Yeah.
go through. I had to put in the work. And,
Yes.
And if you finally put in the work, good for you.
Yes.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
So I'll be like, yeah, good for you. Thanks for you wanting to make amends. If that comforts you, cool. Let it comfort you. Are we going to be close knit again? No.
No, you're
That's the boundary
No.
that
Yeah.
I'm putting down. You broke that boundary, so therefore you what's it called? You dig your hole and lay in it.
Yes.
Okay?
You made your bed, now lay in it.
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
the saying is.
Yeah. You know?
Wow.
And that's just me being an adult and knowing that your toxicity, I don't want that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. Because after all that happened, like a whole new not a whole new world, but like things started to like make sense in my
You
head.
took your rose-colored glasses off.
Yeah, things started making more sense in my head, like growing up and like how I felt around her and felt around other family members, kind of thing. Like things started to click, and I'm just kind of
It
like,
makes sense,
you know
yeah.
what? Damn, Melissa, you're very naive, or you're just very
No, you're
loving
just pure
and
and
like,
good-hearted.
you know. And so I was just kind of like, I don't like that anymore. So I'm putting my boundary down, and I don't want any of you to be crossing this boundary anymore, kind of thing.
Wow.
And so, yeah, family estrangement, y'all. It's really hard to go through. Again, if it was different, then, you know, and I still wanted that person in my life, then yeah, maybe I would have reached out later on and been like, you know what, let's try to mend it. You know, being adults as we are, but I think just seeing her progress and seeing my progress ever since that estrangement happened, I could see that that's never going to happen. And so there's no point in holding out an olive branch, if that makes sense.
Trying to have her come back into our life does nothing for us.
Yeah.
Well, I think that when I brought that scenario up, it was because obviously I know how you guys are, and I would hope that nobody would let a person that's hurt them so much bring them back into their life.
Right.
But it's more of like how you would react if they did for some reason felt remorse,
Yeah.
and they wanted to like
Apologize.
get a chance to air out their grievances
Yeah.
to you.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do your amends what you want to do. If that makes you
I
comfortable.
just imagine
sure.
you be like, "Thank you." Close the door. I just know you would do that. You would be like, first of all, how do you know where I live?
Who told you?
This is not my house. This is my friend's house. I'm just visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like I said, yeah. If that person wants to apologize, then go right ahead. But like Liz said, you know, it's like I don't need to invite her back into my life, nor do I need her, or like sadly even want her in my life
Yeah.
anymore because of all of that. And like Liz said, it's like after her whole toxicity like shown like a freaking
Like a movie reel.
yes, like a movie reel. It's just kind of like
yeah.
wow, you know? And then I also reflected back to all the things and stuff. And while I am very grateful for like growing up with her and having her kind of
The
like
good times.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the good times and stuff like that, you know, while it's great, it also taught me who not to be. So, but other than that, yeah, it doesn't benefit me either way. So
Okay.
Yeah. So, what about you, Anna?
My family estrangements are actually with the opposite sex family members. Yeah. And it's just really weird. So my family is really close too, but my estrangements are always with an older male family member. And maybe it's just like like if I'm going to be honest, like the male validation or the male centered, I guess, view that I have. But it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I just know I've seen my parents and them, they're born orphans, let me draw. So they have always been the outcasts of the Hmong community. So they know how it feels when someone doesn't love you or care for you, but they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart to take you in.
Quote
Or
unquote.
obligation.
And I'm doing air
quote-
quotes.
On video, I'm doing quote unquote. That's what the Hmong community does a lot. And it's just kind of like, dude, let me live on the streets if you're just going to treat me like worse than Cinderella. But
Yeah.
anyway, so they always preach like, you know, your family that you're related to with blood, like, you know, you should love them with your whole heart. You never know when it's going to be gone.
Right.
And you're lucky if you get the same family members in your next life. So I'm always like, okay. So then I really love everybody around my same age for my relatives. But then I had like a really close relationship with one of, and it sounds really inappropriate, but it's not. I'm really close to one of my older male relatives, and we're really close, right? But recently it's been really bad. I've personally gone no contact
Yeah.
with them, and I've always really loved spending time with this person because, we bonded over the love of music and everything. And so it just seeing him not get along with the rest of the family, and also just doing things that are just, I want to say,
Not okay.
not okay is the best way to say it. And watching him throw his life away, it's kind of like, you're really old, and I shouldn't be telling you not to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Not to fall into bad habits that eventually could kill you. So I shouldn't be saying that, and I shouldn't be trying to help you, or or whatever, or give you a second chance, or whatever it is. And it's just kind of like when your older relatives are preaching something like, love each other, take care of each other, but then themselves can't even get along with each other. You're kind of
Exactly.
like, why are you guys preaching things that you can't hold yourself accountable to? I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I have a short fuse. I will get
Yes.
upset, but I've learned that if you can come back from that and be like, hey, that wasn't okay for me to say. I was actually feeling this way. Use your what is it? You and I statements from therapy. When you did this, I felt like this, and I feel like that's more honorable, or it's more respected
Yeah.
than just kind of be like acting like the conflict never happened and then
Yeah.
sweep it under the rug, But I think ever since with this family member, after I got married, it got worse. Like, and I think that to be honest, majority of it is probably like their addiction. To be honest, I think that because addiction is a disease, and I think that, and just how most of our older relatives, they have unresolved trauma because they literally went through a war. They went through a lot of things that they should have never gone through, and that since they're not seeking any professional help to kind of figure it out, or at least make their lives easier, then they're turning to things that aren't good. And I've only recently realized, like, dang, like, that person does really have a problem. Because I remember, like, gosh, like, before the pandemic, I remember, I think one time I was over at their house, and then, like, they had, I think it was in the morning or something, and he had already been drinking like 3 or 4 beers already, and it was like 10 or 11 in the morning. And then, like, it's like such a unfortunate normalized thing in the Hmong community for to drink so much. So I just brushed it off. But in hindsight now, I'm like, that's not normal. That's not how you should be doing it. Like, that's overly excessive. And so I'm just kind of like, I don't like that, and I don't want that in my life. Like, me and my one of my sisters, we talked about it because she's recently personally gone through, she's like sober. She's went through a sobriety thing where she's just not going to drink at all. And I had asked her, and I was like, what made you want to do that? And then she had a conversation with me, and she was like, I just realized I don't like how I am when I'm like drinking. And I don't like what drinking does to our family on my side and on, like my partner's side. So I just don't want that in my life. And I find that I can enjoy life without it. It's fine. And I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, she's got a point. And if that's what it takes for us to kind of break some of the horrible things in the Hmong community, then maybe that might have to be it. But with my estrangement with this person, I'm like disappointed, but also kind of sad. Because I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about.
I do.
Yeah. He called me. Did I tell you that he called me the
No.
day, the morning after my wedding, and he apologized.
Oh.
But I was just kind of like, it could have gone really bad.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just feel like, at what point at your big old age do you not feel embarrassed about that? Like, yeah, I know that you feel like it's an addiction, but I don't think you're going to ever, what is that word I'm trying to look for? I don't think you're ever going to agree or admit to it,
Yeah.
because it's so normal, you know. You know, you literally got doctor's orders that if you keep continuing this, like, you will die, but you're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, but you kind of have to cut yourself off from people like that, just because what are you gonna do? Like, you can't control them. You know, you literally have to let people help themselves, kind of like what you were saying earlier, that you had to personally go through your own demons.
Yeah.
And literally heal from that. And that was the only way. And so it's kind of like, oh, okay, I gotta just back off.
Yeah.
But that's my estrangement, is I just feel really sad. So every time I don't know, music is like a second nature thing to me. And so every time, like, I hear music, especially like live music and stuff, like, I feel really excited, but I'm also, it's like a bittersweet feeling. And I'm like, you know, life has changed so much for me in like the span of a decade. And I can't believe that my life is not what it used to be anymore, but then, you know, I have to grieve that.
Yeah.
And like start new things. So it's just really sad when you have to grieve the life that you used to have with, you know, certain family members, and then you have to be like, well, it's in the past for a reason, Anna.
Yeah.
That's why you have to move on.
Yeah, it's kind of like when my aunties were talking, and she's all like, you know, aren't you gonna be sad that, like, you know, grandma's house is not grandma's house anymore? Aren't you sad about that? You know, because it used to be a house with so much, like, memories and warmth and, you know, love, and now it's not like that anymore. You know, like, aren't you sad that that's, like, that time is over? And I looked at her and I was like, Auntie, I am actually happy that, well, not really, okay, I don't want to say it like this, but it's more of, Auntie, I'm more, like, I'm not sad about it, because I have already came to that conclusion a long time ago, when that pillar person passed away back in, like, what, I think 2020, I believe. Yeah. You know, like, ever since 2020, when she passed away, I was already relieved. You know, like, and I know it sounds mean.
The words that you're looking for, you came to terms with that already?
Yes. It's like, I know it sounds mean, but it's kind of like when she had passed, I was relieved, because I was like, finally, she's free.
Yeah, she can finally rest.
Yeah.
Instead of having to have her life drag on when her quality of life was like horrible. Yeah. It was shit. You know?
You know, so I was telling my aunt, I was like, honestly, in 2019, I had already told my parents that, like, she's not going to live past 2020. Like, I already told them, I was like, there's no way she's going to be living past 2020. You know, and then sadly it came true. But, like, at that point, I was already, like, I guess, grieving who she is, or who she was while she was alive already. And that makes sense. And so when she passed away, I was just kind of like, oh, I'm a little relieved, you know. And then after that, I was just like, that house, and then again after the whole estrangement, that house is no longer
a happy place
for me anymore, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the memories that we had in the house at the time. You know, but now going there as an adult, I'm just kind of like, it's just a house to me.
Yeah.
You know, so Auntie, it doesn't really hurt me the way that you are wanting it to hurt me. It doesn't hurt like that.
Or that,
me.
or how you think it will hurt.
Yeah. Like, I've already grieved that part, that, like, this chapter is closed. I'm happy that I can come back and be with family again, but it's not the same feeling,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, like, for us, I think we were already mentally preparing for her passing, like, years before 2020.
Yeah.
Because just by how fast her health was declining.
Yeah.
And not only that, but, like, us watching the family go at it with each other, with her health care, who is actually taking care of her, who doesn't want to take care of her, and stuff like that. They made her a burden,
Yeah.
pretty much. And it upsetted me because it's kind of like, there are 9 of you, and, like, no one seems to want to genuinely help and take care of your mom.
Yeah.
Well, to be
So-
fair, on the flip side, it's kind of like, also because you're the kid, you're not obligated to personally, but you should at least, if you have the means, to get professional care.
Yes.
So she's not meaning just you yourself, but she's also meaning professional too.
Yes, you know, there are ways to, like, get help and whatnot, you know, but
Yeah.
but yes, I had already started the grieving process and knowing, mentally preparing that she wasn't going to last any time longer, you know, and like I said, how I saw that they were treating her and stuff like that. It's just kind of like, it's just kind of like, she needs to go in peace.
Yeah.
Because it was ridiculous. And I hated how our dad was making it as if it was our responsibility too to take care of her because she's our grandma. And I'm like, yeah, she's our grandma, not our mother.
Yeah.
It is not our responsibility to step in and take care of her.
Yeah, when there's 9 of y'all.
Now, if all of the children are somehow like deceased for some reason, that's different.
Yeah.
But even then, it's it's you and mom's
Yeah,
job,
that is
Yeah.
correctamundo.
you know. And
It's your generation
Yes,
to take care
you
of
know.
her.
And sure, yes, we'll help here and there, but don't make us be the ones who has to take the responsibility when
Yeah.
it's not ours.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's just a unique situation that because he's never really had, a present parent, so he
Yes.
just feels like you should do what's right. And it's kind of like, not when you're being treated like crap, or not when you're being treated like crap, or it's not your responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be like, the people that should be doing that aren't doing it, but it doesn't mean I should feel the need to step in.
Right. Like, why? It kind of like with my other aunties were like, oh, Melissa, since you guys was able to plan all 17 of you guys to go on a cruise, maybe you can plan something for like the entire family. And I looked at her and I was like, you're asking the wrong person. Nobody likes me. Remember, the estrangement happened and none of y'all like me. So
Why should I help you?
Why should I help you?
When
You
I
know?
was being asked, I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah. And so that's why I'm like, I do it because I love my family and that I want them to go and have fun. Yes, it was stressful and somebody else's turn to do it next time. But, like, I love my family and that's why I did it. But with y'all, no. It's like, no.
Again, no, because one, we don't like each other.
Yeah.
And two, I'm not responsible for you guys.
Yeah, I'm like, no, man. Like, you and your generation need to come together and learn how to do it. That's how we have to learn to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Is to come together and talk.
Yeah.
Or like it's different if you don't know it and you ask your kid or whoever's younger, be like, can you teach me?
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can you teach me? I'm I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
It's a whole different story. Then
Yeah.
do it for me.
Yeah.
It's like
no.
it's like just because we're good people and we're usually willing to like help the family and stuff like that,
Yeah.
just because we know no one else will do shit,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can abuse our good-heartedness.
Take
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, and think that we would do everything for you or anything for you.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like,
We're like cats. We will do what we want. We look soft and furry, and you can
Yeah.
lure us with some
With food.
catnip and food. But then if we don't like you, meow.
Yeah. We'll
yeah,
run off.
exactly. It's like, we're not dumb. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
When you were saying just because we're nice doesn't mean you should take advantage of us. That's all I saw was like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
You know, and it goes both sides of our family, like mom and our dad's side. Like our dad's side kind of does that too. Like they kind of
Yeah.
know that we're good-hearted, but at the same time they don't want to come talk to us because
They
we
know
will
we can
ram
bite back.
to them.
Yeah, we intimidate them a little bit. And
I'm
it's,
sorry.
then it's kind of like, I was like, we're sorry? I mean, it's just like, that's just who we are.
I mean,
we're not
we're
mean or
yeah,
anything.
we're still nice and we still help, but like if you cross a boundary with us, then we're gonna be like, no.
somebody said something to me that reminds me. I forgot who it was. It was a male guy that said this to me, and he was like, he asked me something about Mike and like and y'all, like the family, and he was like, are your sister-in-laws like lupin like do they like talking a lot? They're sassy, and I was like, yes, why? And she was like, and he was like, that makes sense, and I was like, explain.
Yeah, what does that mean?
explain.
No, because he said, oh, if he's around that, then he would want a woman like that. And I'm like,
Oh.
so I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, I guess so.
That's like I told you earlier with Rod. He's like, yeah, I can totally tell you guys are your family's very female dominated.
But I'm pretty sure he likes that. He's like, interesting.
He said it's different
Yeah.
because usually he's like, because he's like all about like,
The machismo.
yeah. And then I'm just like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I can see it from your brothers that, yeah, your sisters are usually in charge. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true too. But like, not a bad way. But he's like, yeah. But he's just like, tell your brothers to man up. Man
You
up.
tell him.
I'm almost like,
You tell him.
So I was like, you probably have to tell him because I was like,
You should be like, hey, dude, come on.
But like, well, what's your definition of a man though?
oh,
Because when you say man up, it's kind of like I think my brothers are pretty manly.
They are manly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just quiet.
you're saying like
I
take
think-
initiative?
I think,
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
think
what do you
it's
mean
more
by man
of-
up?
I think it's just more of them saying.
See, this is what I mean. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
From
sir?
what he explains to me, I think it's more of them saying their opinions like out loud.
oh,
Oh,
Like,
okay,
speak
okay,
up
okay, okay.
is what he's
speak
what he's
up
saying.
and then also take initiative.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what
Okay,
he doesn't
okay.
see. That's why he was telling me. He's like, no offense, but right now the favorite one is probably Mitchell because he's like, no offense. He's just because Mitchell is willing to speak to him, talk to him, and
Also, he
initiate
has
stuff.
plenty of opinions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they he can talk. It's someone he can
The
actually
banter.
Talk
Yes,
They
the
have
banter.
bantering.
to. And he's like, I can.
Right,
He's
right.
like, I can see it with the other brothers too, but not as much. But the one that's actually willing to talk to me when I'm there and whatnot, it's
It's
probably
Mitchell.
Mitchell, Mitchell and Chow.
You're probably like,
Yes, Mitchell and Chow.
Yeah.
you're like, good. Go talk to them, please.
Yeah, I was like, there you go. Think you guys can talk about something.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Family estrangement. It's hard. It's really hard, especially again when the Hmong community is all about family. It's all about community. But at the same time, there's a lot of contradictory stuff that happens. People cut each other off.
Sorry, I'm going to slip in here a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, family estrangement is hard and it's really sad, but it's also liberating
Yes.
because you free yourself from that toxicity, from that heaviness in your heart, that burden of feeling like you're responsible when you know it's not your responsibility. It's finally like gone.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it or constantly have that black cloud in the back of your head wondering like what I could have done.
Yeah.
What I could have done instead of what they should have done.
Yes.
So it's very liberating when it's needed. So so it's kind of like if you think you need to go no contact because that person in your life is being like really toxic, or you're just so constantly like
or you just need time to think,
yeah,
to reflect on yourself.
So like basically putting a boundary down.
yeah.
yeah,
You know.
it's literally a boundary.
Just make sure you stick with your boundary though,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're just betraying yourself.
Just
I saw,
don't go like.
I saw this
around.
video online of another Hmong girl. She was talking about her estrangement with her mom. I don't know if it's from the same podcast or it's a different one, but she had shared on TikTok that she had an estrangement, or like she had to cut off no contact with her mom because she couldn't handle the toxicity anymore. So she told her mom like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that this is enough."
Yeah, I think this is the same podcast.
Yeah.
So,
She's like, "This is enough. I can't anymore." And
Yeah.
then I saw in the comments that they asked her like, "Hey, did you guys ever go back to talking?" And she goes, "Yeah, the boundary was just so that way I can have some space, and now
Yeah.
we're good." And she doesn't try me anymore.
yes.
And I'm like, "Okay, see, that's healthy."
Yes.
And also it shows that she loves you because she's respecting you.
Yeah, and
Yes.
she also reflected, oh, she
Yes.
doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a way to do it in a tactful, nice way. Okay.
Yes.
Don't be ugly about it when you are trying to set a boundary. Be like, "I can't handle your bitch ass no more.
Yeah.
So leave me alone." No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of like what I said to Matthew with like Matthew, my dad. I'm like, you kind of have to talk to dad as an adult in order for him to understand you and kind of like treat you like an adult. If you're just going to sit there and like yell at him and all do that stuff, he's going to do the same thing back. Kind of thing. So you kind of have to approach it differently, maturely.
I
kinda
hear what
thing.
you're saying. I understand this is your house, but I need
Yes.
some space.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I had said that to my dad before, when he was like very nasty to the doctor, and I told him, I was like, it's not that we're going against you. It's just you need to learn how to speak nicer
In a kinder
in a kinder way. And then like when the doctor came in again, he spoke in a nicer way. So it's just reparenting your parents.
Well, I wonder. Yeah, it kind of sucks. But I wonder if, like, because I've seen him change,
Yeah.
and I wonder if because of what happened, like, in the religious community for him, impacted how he sees his life now. Because
Yes.
I've realized
Yes.
Yes.
I've realized that he's changed now. So I'm wondering if he's thinking they were right all along, so I should probably listen to them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I've seen that.
Yeah, because when we were at Mitchell's place for J4,
all that.
yeah, and my dad was talking to one of our church members that used to.
I don't know if he still goes.
I don't know if he still goes, but my parents they
No.
retired
Yeah.
from Baptist, and so they moved over to their old church back in Alliance, and so my dad moved over there because my dad retired from being a pastor. And so I think one of our old church members from Baptist was talking to him, and my dad was just like, it finally clicked to me when my wife was really sick and nobody came to visit her. Nobody came to come and pray for her. Nobody came to...
The church member said this?
My dad,
Dad.
our dad said
Oh.
that to the church member. When my wife got sick, none of you guys came to pray for her. None of you guys came to see
Oh, wait,
her.
so then technically, was this a confrontation?
I think
I-
so. I
I
don't
don't
know
think
what they were talking.
I don't think it was towards him. I think he
Uh.
was just pointing out. I think they were both bickering about the church specifically,
Or
Yeah.
like
Wait, wait.
neutral
members
people?
specifically.
Okay, wait, I'm a little confused
Yeah,
now.
back up a little bit from
Okay,
the
okay.
beginning.
Okay.
This was
His
Dad
dad
saying
talking to this member.
Yes.
the
I think you guys left already.
No, you guys were
No,
there. You guys
out-
were in the
you guys were out
kitchen.
I might have been in the kitchen or outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is dad saying those words to this other person.
Yes. To.
but I don't think it was specifically towards him. He was just saying overall.
They both
the
were talking
members.
about the mutual group.
Yes,
Yes.
the mutual group. Those
And like
specific
why?
people.
I guess
Why
kind of
things
like
went the
why
way they were?
why he retired and why he like left.
Oh,
I guess you can say.
Why he left, and then he saw, and then he realized why they were trying to use the church, thinking that they could do things in the church. but they didn't realize. Basically, they didn't realize what the protocol of everything in the church goes to, kind of thing. Like they were trying to abuse the church.
All I know
Okay.
is that something happened, and then all I heard was him saying a very sarcastic thing. Like I can hear him smiling when he said it.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, go ahead and say
Okay,
what
yeah,
you said.
sorry.
Yeah. So
Walk
what
us through
I
the script.
what I overheard when I was like in the kitchen and I saw
Yeah,
Your ears perked, huh?
I literally
my ear
was sitting there
perked.
watching, hearing the whole thing.
yeah.
But
So what
it-
I
some of it
overheard
kinda
was
went out.
something. This church member was talking about like why like dad and them had left or if they're gonna come back to the church or whatever. And my dad was like, when my wife got sick, none of y'all came to come pray for her. None of you guys came to what's it called?
It's like support.
Yeah, like just
or-
support. I forgot what the Hmong word is called, but like when they come over and they kind of pray and they kind of like sing songs to kind of just show support for that sick person. You know, just what my dad does to everybody else does. You
Yeah.
know, when they're going through a hard time, he'll gather some people and they'll go and like do all that blessing stuff in the house. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when my mom got sick, he was like, when my wife got sick, nobody reached out. Nobody came to pray for my wife. Nobody came, sang songs for my wife. Nobody came.
Nobody even like called
Yeah.
to
And
say,
he's
to
all like,
ask.
Was that when mom
And
was
I-
really, really sick?
I think so. I forgot when this was.
This
I was
would
gonna say, I
have
was like, when was mom
this would
got
have
sick?
to be
When it was it when her
while, like
acid
super bad,
stuff was really
way back,
bad?
because that would mean that he had reflected
For a long
overall.
time.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
long time to.
Well, he
realize
probably
this.
was like, "Oh, it's interesting. Nobody came over," and then things just got worse and worse.
Yeah,
and worse.
because
Yeah.
I think for a couple years now, he's been wanting to like retire.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, it got to the point to where I think he was just wanting to retire and have somebody step up and continue the church. But then it got to the point where he was like, "I'm retiring and I'm letting
leaving.
go of this church." He's like, "I'm tired and I'm letting it go. I don't even want to be a part of it anymore."
And we were all flabbergasted.
Because
Yeah.
I think he originally was just going to close the church, but the members said
Yeah.
that they could handle it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so
But anyway,
that's when Dad was
Yeah.
all like, "My wife got sick, nobody came over," and he goes, "And what pissed me off was when I had told them that I'm not coming to church on Sunday because my wife is sick, and I asked you guys to."
He actually said pissed.
Yes. I think he said pissed, but he said mad. He said, "I told you guys that I wasn't going to come to church on this Sunday because my wife is sick and I'm going to stay home with my wife. And I told you guys to prep for Sunday. You guys said, 'Oh, Sifu, you're not going to be here? Oh, no, we'll just close the church.'" And my dad's like, "I'm telling you to not close the church and I'm giving you guys
Your duties.
your
I'm
duties
delegating
to
your
do,
tasks.
and you're not doing it." And on top of that, my wife is sick, and on top of that, none of y'all came. So I think that was like the icing on the cake for him. And he was all like, "After that, I was done. I don't want to do it anymore."
Yeah, I just
Kinda
heard
thing.
the money portion issue.
I was just gonna say, what brought up that sarcastic line? Because all I heard him say something like, "Oh, this person." That's
All I
funny.
heard was...
That's literally what
Yeah.
he said, and I was like, "Ooh!" That's the Pastor Charles with the shotgun.
All I
that
heard
shotgun.
was they were. I think they were trying to like use the church money or something like that, but they didn't realize that once. I think the money ends up. There's a process with the money that they're not using the church money. It automatically goes to either. I think HBNA or Mother Church.
It gets divided.
It gets divided
or-
somewhere. It
yeah.
doesn't go directly to
just the church.
the members of the church. I
Oh.
think. They kind of, they probably, that's what they
Well,
probably were
nobody's
trying
ever
to do.
like even tried to shadow the treasurer, so they would have known that. If
Exactly,
they would have
yeah.
shadowed the treasurer,
That's
they'll
what
understand.
that's what I heard.
Treasury 101.
And then I just
Yeah.
kept hearing Dad say, "Yeah, they're toxic this," and I'm just like, I'm like sitting in the rocking chair, just listening to this whole thing, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I still, because like I was just doing my own thing, and I usually am so like bimboed out, like I'm not listening to anything, and all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, that person." Literally.
Well, they didn't help that the church member that he was speaking to was also like dealing with this too
Oh.
at the time. So I'm pretty sure that's why he was basically kind of giving an update to Dad, and then Dad just finally kind of just
Yeah.
revealed everything.
Dad was like, "Well, let me tell you about this,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
in a very dad way.
Yeah, that's how I was just like, oh dang. I was like, Dad really had a good
Yeah.
Well, he's been
Really
Review
wake
of-
up call.
yeah.
Yeah.
kind
I
of
mean, it's sad to say how to take that, but also it's kind of like maybe everybody moving out had to be done because he didn't want you guys being there was his crutch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it
And
had-
like though mom has said so many times already, like, bro, listen to me, but he's not. I think he had to really see.
Yeah.
Like because when mom was sick, that means that she's not the crutch anymore. So literally, he's by himself, and he had to reflect that.
he had to realize that everything was being held by.
Yeah,
us.
and thank God, because he was all like, I told him, I was like, if you're leaving, are you taking what's yours? And he's like, yeah, I'm taking everything that's mine. And I was like, thank God.
Of course, I mean,
Because-
there was one thing he could have taken, but he was just like,
Yeah.
but it's part of the church, so.
Because I think he used part of the church money for it. So I was
Yeah,
like,
we're
okay,
just like-
fine. Take it.
Well, he wants to,
But-
be fair. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't all his.
Right. Again, he said he don't like us, but at the same time, we are the exact thing of him. Our attitude is exactly like him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, they say that all the time. You are your father's daughter.
Yes.
Yes.
They say that you usually don't get along with someone that's similar to you. That's why.
So,
The apple doesn't fall very far from the tree.
and I find that funny because I'm like, it's you who's fighting you. So,
You find yourself.
yeah.
Look in the mirror, Charles.
Who do I remind you of?
You.
It's so funny.
But yeah, sorry. Back to family estrangement. Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard thing to go through, but it's like Michelle said, it's very liberating to go through. And a lot of it is just having a boundary, you know?
Yeah, but okay, like setting a boundary is
It's hard.
hard.
Yeah.
So just stick to it. Like
yeah,
I said.
it sounds very selfish of you, but it's just that's how it kind of starts. Is that like you want better for yourself and you kind of realize that like, oh, you know, I don't like you or I don't like the way that you do things. And I don't want to be a part of that anymore.
Ooh, what's another good thing is that when you start setting a boundary, if people start trying to make you feel guilty, that means that you're doing something good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just ignore them.
It's kind of like, think of it this way. You need to take care of you,
Yeah.
not the other person, because the other person isn't you. So you need to take care of you first, because all you have is you.
Yeah.
So yes, setting a boundary is all about taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And if, like Anna says, if the other person has a problem with it, then it's their problem, not yours.
Yeah.
So
Be adults, talk it out. If you can't talk it out, and then just be like what me and Michelle are, it's not going to get any better. So,
More like if you set a boundary and people get mad at you, then that's wrong for them.
yeah.
that should tell you something.
Yeah.
So
But like the Hmong lady on the podcast, if they really love you, they'll reflect on it themselves too and be like, okay, I want to work with you on this kind of thing.
Which unfortunately is rare.
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's like my boyfriend's mom's side. They completed, I think they cut off her side of the family. He's like, yeah, my mom's side, they don't like me. And I'm like, okay, I guess. And then he's like, but at least now my mom realizes how toxic they were. And so she kind of reflects on a lot of that. And so I was just like, that's good though. But at least she still kind of goes, she still sees them every now and then. It's just that she has a border
The boundary.
boundary
Yep.
thing,
Clap,
yeah.
clap, clap, clap.
yeah, so yeah, family estrangement. It's very even though we don't talk anymore, at least from my situation, even though we don't talk anymore, I still wish you well. I still wish, happiness for you, just not at my table. And there's nothing wrong, there's nothing evil or ill about that. So, go do you. I'm going to go do me, and, have fun, be happy. So, so this is the end of this episode. I don't know if this episode helped any of y'all, but but yeah, just be kinder to one another, and yeah, be safe and have a good day, everybody. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.